So, hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. And so how did our paths just cross on that? How did we meet?
Well, we met. I was just enjoying a beautiful walk here in the park, and you just came up and asked me if I was open to doing this interview.
Absolutely. And so what is the interview going to be about? What are we going to talk about?
About feet and reflexology.
And one other.
Oh, what was the one other?
Mental health.
Mental health.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And so in terms of the mental health, right? Is there anything that you research or maybe that you know about from personal experiences or anything like that?
A lot of things. So where do I begin?
Oh, wherever you like.
To me, I mean, part of what I'm doing right now, the fact that I'm walking, I'm out in nature, I'm just enjoying my body and exercising, moving helps my mental health. I do yoga in the morning, massages. The work that I do is very much related to mental, physical, overall well-being because I'm a professional cuddler, so I help people, connect within themselves and learn what it is that what they're yes to, what they're no to, and just allowing themselves to experience touch in a healthy way, platonic way, in a way that gets them that natural oxytocin, serotonin, and just gives them an overall sense of health and well-being and how they can bring that out into their everyday lives. And so everything I do is kind of related to my own personal as well as in my work, overall health and well-being. And I'm always learning and growing all the time. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure you're going to teach me something.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So hopefully some of the information I can provide today, maybe it might be something you know or you might not. So we'll see where that goes, okay?
Yeah.
What about reflexology? Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. So we'll see when I start talking about it if you agree with it and if that's exactly what it is, okay?
Yes.
Let's start with these questions.
Okay.
What's something that you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using the word weird for a reason because it may not be weird, but what's something?
But I might make up as weird. That I like.
That other people might find to be weird.
Oh my gosh, so many things.
Yeah, well, let's hear it.
Just what I just shared, the fact that I'm into cuddling and having these kinds of experiences, that I am free-spirited and just like to live my life on my own terms, not having traditional work, traditional relationships. Really, a lot of things about my life are weird.
Well, nice.
My humor.
Yeah. So, has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or a body part in general?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that something you're still dealing with? Or are you already more comfortable with it? Like it doesn't bother you as much?
It doesn't bother me as much.
Okay. How did you get past that?
That's a great question. I don't know. I just started to realize it's not really about the body.
Okay.
It's about so much more than that, even though we all have our preferences, whether it be for our own body and how we want it to look and feel and others that we interact with. But ultimately, the more I connected within and in my own journey, I recognize what makes me drawn to somebody really is so much more beyond that, because I've been around what would be deemed as really beautiful physically, all that kind of stuff, people, and no, what was inside was not so beautiful.
Absolutely.
Or at all intellectually stimulating or healthy or any number of different things. And that's true for myself. I know that when I'm not in my best, I can look all sorts of things on the outside, but it doesn't matter. Like if I'm not feeling it within, no, I don't feel good about it. And I don't attract things and people into my life. There's no flow. So it's
And so next question.
Yeah.
Is if there was one thing you could change about yourself, and it doesn't have to be physical, what would it be?
To be kinder and gentler with myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
My feet, for the most part, I like them. I like my feet. The only thing that I think is weird or odd about them is I have a big space in between my big toe and the next toe, the second toe. So it's just an unusually large space. And yeah.
And that's the thing, like a lot of times when I'm interviewing people, everybody, and the reason why I call my channel Soleful Discussion,
it's Soleful Discussion. I do a soul happy hour on Saturday night.
And the reason why I call it that, it's like a double entendre, right?
Yes,
so it's like the soul of your foot, but also your soul too.
Yes.
And our souls are different as well as our souls are different too, right? So that's why I call it that. So that's interesting that you mentioned that.
Yes.
Have you ever received compliments on your feet?
Yes.
Okay. Men, women?
I think both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both.
And so, in terms of compliments, when you get them from men and women, is there a difference in the feeling, or do they all feel the same for you? Do you generally take them the same way?
I think I take them the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked that question is because I interviewed somebody earlier on when I first started doing this, and she mentioned that a lot of times women are taught from a young age to be in competition with each other, kind of hate on other girls.
Yeah.
And so usually as you get older, when you start to get compliments from other women, it seems more sincere, as opposed to when you get compliments from guys. Sometimes guys are giving compliments to just get something in return.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, sometimes that's the case. I mean, I've learned more and more, but yet still I might sometimes misread what is coming to me. But ultimately, you can generally tell when you're tuned in. This is a genuine compliment. And ultimately, I don't need that from somebody else. I enjoy it. It's nice to get compliments, but that's more about them than about me.
Absolutely. And so, what are your thoughts if you started dating someone who was into food? I don't know if you're dating right now or if you're married. But what's your thoughts be?
I've had clients that have been into feet, and so I know I'm familiar with people that are. I don't know if any of my partners have been at this point, but it just depends what that involves and what I'm comfortable with.
Absolutely, and that's always what it's about.
Yeah.
When you start dating someone, right, when do you think is the appropriate time for someone to bring up the things that they are into? For both of you to bring that up?
Sooner rather than later. I was actually just talking to a client about that today. I'm like, no, you've known this person a really long time. It's time.
You gotta let it know. Let the you gotta open it up and just whatever happens.
Right.
Because it's better, and what I've heard so far from the women I've interviewed and asked that question to. Yeah. It's better to find out early, because that way what that person knows they're getting into, what you're getting into. Right. And if it's not gonna work, you can branch out and find somebody else who can fulfill what you need, right?
Exactly, because again, we're just looking to find people that are a match to us, whether they're friends, lovers, whatever. Let's find that out right off the bat, and it's okay. No harm, no foul. It's we're just not a match in that. Okay, great.
Exactly.
Great.
So how often do you get pedicures?
Pretty often.
Okay.
That's something I've still been allowing for myself, even during COVID. I mean, there was a while, obviously, I couldn't do it, but
once you could, you started going back.
Oh, yeah. I was I'm getting a pedicure, I'm getting my hair cut. I'm I color my own hair, but as far as, I really like the experience of the whole massage,
Absolutely.
having somebody else do it. It's hard to do your own toes.
It is. I mean, I don't know that from personal experience, but I know my girlfriend, when she does it, she's it's really hard.
Exactly.
How often do you wear open-toed shoes, sandals, flip-flops?
Yes.
How often do you do it?
How often?
Yeah.
More and more when it's warm out. The reason why I have my tennis shoes on right now is I realized when I was wearing my sandals the other day walking, I'm like, no, I don't have the support that I want, and I want to be kind to my feet. I don't want to have a bunch of blisters.
Yeah, I mean, and that happens sometimes when you're wearing those sandals. So, how often do you go barefoot?
Oh, I love it when I don't want to have to wear shoes, but I wear them
as much
functionally.
As you can.
Yes.
In terms of, now, do you believe in grounding? Is that something that
yes.
That's a part of reflexology, right? I'm pretty sure you know.
Oh, yes.
It's a part of reflexology,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, earthing, getting those feet. That's part of what I did during COVID too. That really helped me a lot to just walk and be outside.
Absolutely,
taking my shoes off. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. All right, and so now can we see what your feet look like up close?
Yes, you can.
So let me get you to put, leave your socks on, put your feet here first.
Okay.
That way you won't get them dirty or anything, so put them here. All right, and then let's see what this outline looks like. Okay, it looks like you got great toe symmetry from what I'm seeing here so far. What size do you wear?
7.
Size 7. Okay. All right, and you can remove. Well, first of all, put your legs out straight first. Let's get the soles up. Can you put your soles up this way? Okay, cool. And okay. All right, and now you can remove your socks.
Love this.
All right.
I just love stuff.
And what are we working with here? What color are we working with here?
Well, I don't know.
Like
it was sparkly
pink
kind of color. I forget what it was called, but it just
looks nice.
It just felt like pink champagne to me or something.
Okay.
Bubbly, sparkly.
It's
been a couple weeks, but it still looks
looks very nice. Okay, and let me get you to extend your feet out straight towards me.
Okay.
And all right, and let me get your soles up like we did last time. All right.
Hopefully they're not too dry. I wasn't ready for showing my feet.
And so here's what we're gonna do. So first of all, how are you feeling right now? So far, we're doing this. We're going through the interview. You're showing your feet right now with a nice pink polish. Yes. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I mean, I'm noticing certain things that I would like to be better.
Okay, now are you feeling like that because it's going on YouTube and you feel like, okay. And so let me throw in the mental health, okay? Because you already seem like an open person mostly.
Yeah.
But let me throw in the mental health, and maybe you've heard about this before. Have you ever heard of DBT before?
Remind me.
It's dialectical behavioral therapy. Okay, and it's basically for people who suffer from anxiety, depression, people who don't live in the moment, right?
Yes.
And so basically what it is they tell therapists who like have these type of people, they tell them to go out and put themselves in those uncomfortable situations that they have. Yes. So let's say you have a fear of approaching strangers. They tell you go out, do that over and over again, right?
Yes.
And when you start to feel that uncomfortable urge that like tells you to go the other way or whatever, they tell you to do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen in that situation, right?
Right.
And if there's not a threat to your life or safety, that you should proceed because you may experience like a good event, good moments, meet great people, right?
Exactly.
So right now you're saying that like you're starting to notice all kinds of things, but like what's the worst that's going to happen from that, right?
Yeah.
Because like a comment or whatever like that, it's not going to bother you or anything like that.
I don't care. Say whatever you want.
Exactly.
People. Right now, I'm just telling you right now. Yeah, my legs are not shaved. My feet have been in socks.
It's okay. It's okay. I have interviewed quite a few people since I started doing this, and matter of fact, I interviewed my best friend, one of my. I don't say my best friend, but she's a friend that I've known for quite some time, like 11 years.
Yeah.
And I interviewed her, and she had no idea what we were going to be doing that day.
Yeah.
I just asked her about the interview, and we get out there. She doesn't have her toes done or anything like that, and she feels a little uncomfortable. She still went through with it, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'll allow you to come back at another time, and so you can represent yourself better because maybe you don't feel right, but it was all about getting her to go through the experience and just seeing if she could work through it. Because even though you can feel uncomfortable, like I just said about DBT, can you cope with it and still just ask yourself those questions? What's the worst that's going to happen from this, right?
Right.
Cool. All right, so now let's talk about the reflexology.
Yes.
Okay. So reflexology is a study of the different pressure points we have in our hands and feet.
Yes. And
these pressure points like correlate back to other parts of our body. And through massage, acupuncture, things like that, you can alleviate like stress and tension like to those areas, right?
Right.
So what are your thoughts on that? Because you said you're familiar with it. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel that, I mean, again, part of some of what I do in my work is the hands is one of the most sensitive other than certain other body parts. But as far as for platonicness, the hands is the most sensitive area. So if you want to really experience touch and connection, you can do that through your hands. So I know that the same is true through the feet, that every single organ, every part of your body is represented
in those areas.
In those areas of your feet. And so just by even massaging pressure points or whatever, I've had acupuncture, same sort of thing, you know. It's just pinpointing those areas in the body to...
which are called zones.
Yes. Yes, I don't know all the terms.
Yeah.
I'm not going to at all pretend to be an expert here, but I have enough
information
to know that it can be deeply healing, you know, and help release things, help get things in alignment. Or just help something that's wanting to be brought to your attention.
Absolutely.
In some way. Yeah.
And so we reached this portion. I'd like to ask you, how ticklish are you?
It depends.
Okay. So on your feet, how ticklish would you be?
I'm not that ticklish, but then it's in the moment. Like if I'm just touched a certain way.
Can we test it out on camera to see?
Okay, yeah, let's try.
All right, let me get you to extend your feet out.
Yeah, I figured that's what we're gonna do.
All right, and then we're gonna see. So we're gonna start right to left, and I want you to tell. One's usually more sensitive than the other, so you tell me which one it is. Let's start with the right, okay? 1, 2, 3, and you feel any?
Yeah, I feel it, but it's not like.
Not bad, right?
No.
Okay. So let's try the left now, and you tell me if this one is worse.
Yeah, maybe that's a little more.
A little bit more? Yeah. Where do you feel it most at? Is it like in your arch? Is it at the bottom? At the tops? Where do you feel it at most?
That's a good question. Maybe at the tops.
At the tops?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now, so let me have you go through a couple exercises, and I'd like to see if you feel any pain or discomfort while you're doing this. Okay. So first of all, let me get you to bend your toes over, and you tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort.
Bending them like this?
Yeah, so like make a fist, like almost. You feel any pain or discomfort from that?
No, it's just...
Is it kind of hard?
It's kind of hard. It's kind of awkward for my toes to do that.
So relax. Okay.
Yeah, like I feel...
Right here?
Yeah, there's something in that big toe that at some point in time I must have broke it or disjointed.
You did something, yeah. And so this is why I have people do it to see like what they feel, okay? So now let me get you to spread your toes, and you tell me if you feel anything. Anything from that?
No, just air and...
Okay, but no pain, no, right? No discomfort?
No.
Okay,
no.
So relax. And then let me get you to wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds, and you tell me if you feel anything. Do you still feel that pain in your big toe?
Yeah, it's that right
so
big toe.
something must have happened there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
just do it a little bit longer. Let me see.
Yeah, something is off with that. It's all the way.
It's all in here. Yeah. Okay. So relax. And so I usually have people do that towards the end because I like to see exactly if they feel any pain or discomfort, because usually it means something may be wrong in a certain area. So maybe you didn't know that before, and so we did that. Maybe now you know, and you can maybe have that checked out or something.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the end of the interview. Okay. I'd like to ask you, first of all, about my approach when I came up to you.
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it bad? Is there something I can work on in terms of that?
Well, it would be helpful probably to not approach people from behind.
Yeah.
That might put people a little off. I'm pretty open and flexible in things and welcoming of people, but some people might be like, whoa, you know, that might be a little bit.
That's true.
So just as much as you can, try to have that smile, that, frontal contact. Like
and what happened was I came down from the hill, and as I was coming down, like, I happened to, like, you were just going along my path, and so I was like, I tried to get as close to you as I could on the side so that I could do that so it wasn't so bad.
Right.
But so you're absolutely right. I should try to like do as much as I can from front. I do try to do that most of the time.
Yeah.
In terms of the interview, right? Start to finish, beginning to end, did everything make sense? Did you see how it was like going together? Was there anything that you learned that was new?
I don't know that I had directly heard about DB2. I've heard about NLP and other different modalities. I don't offhand. I hadn't quite, even though that totally makes sense, and I've probably had exercises I've done related to that, so I just wasn't familiar with that term.
Okay.
What else did I learn? I'm sure there's something else in there, but off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
Yeah, so for the most part, though, the DBT was like something.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Like, I don't know if I know that particular.
Yeah. But you can see how everything was going together, right? The questions, how they like kind of went along on the line.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And so the last thing I ask everybody to do who participates in this, something that you like to say in terms of like mental health, a life lesson maybe you learned that you can like say to my channel that could give back.
Just my own life lesson?
Yeah, just like something maybe you learned that like you learned in the past that you can give to somebody else and share.
Oh my gosh. So many things. I'm kind of in the throes of it right now. It's about everything, really. The core of everything in your life is about how you talk to and feel within yourself. Okay. Anything that you think is something doing or something you need to do outside here, no, that's just reflection back to where you're at in your own journey.
Got it.
But being in alignment with yourself, loving yourself, healing whatever needs to be healed, which is always an ongoing process.
Yes.
Being kind and gentle with yourself, hence why I said that was important for me right now, because I've been doing a lot of healing and growth, always, but there's a particular core family of origin stuff for me. In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go be with my family.
Okay.
But most importantly, this whole process is really about me and how am I talking to myself and how am I taking good care of myself as I go through this process and ways that I need to communicate and be with my family and set good boundaries, all of that. But that's all up to me. It's not on them. They're who they are. Accept and love them for who they are and that they're doing their very best.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time while you're on your walk to like stop and just have a quick chat with me.
Yeah.
And we hope that you have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So nice to meet you.